am super excited because we talk too much about business as professional realtors and or mortgage lenders, don't care what you do. And I have somebody here who is a mega agent and is excited to share with us why is it important that we don't talk so much about business and what should we really be talking about. So please, Jason Martin, will you please tell them where you are from and what your team production and how long you've been in the business before we jump into the good stuff?
All right. I knew you were going to ask me about the team production and how long I've been in the business and the numbers. And that's the whole point of this conversation. I think agents spend too much time focusing on that. I think agents spend too much time talking about that. But to give myself a pat on the back, how about that? To boast a little bit. We're outside of Washington, D.C. I run a team. We sold about 115 million in volume last year, got into the business in 2003. And I think I said outside of Washington, D.C. We're based inside of D.C.
Based inside DC. Awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're talking 115 million for the year, and that's 175 homes. And I believe when we spoke, you have a team 15 and then you have 3 support staff. So a total of 18, correct?
Correct. Absolutely. That's exactly what it looks like. And we, Tara, we really focus. I want to convey this message to anybody listening. We focus on life first, business second. And we just do. So you asked the question about what does that mean? It's looking at the individual. So people, you'll get this. You've been around for a while. You have a nice business yourself. We look at individual agents on the team and just discover the gap they have from where they are to where they want to be. And we focus on that. And it usually is the biggest challenge faces us in the mirror every day. So if we can figure that out with the agents on the team, things just take off for them. So that's why it's our life first approach that I think we're having success.
I like that. Can we talk a little bit more about what that looks like when you are breaking down, what is that gap? Like what kind of questions are you asking, or we can role play it in regards to what questions are you asking when you discover an agent and you really want to transition their mindset, because mindset is everything. So what are some of the questions you're asking to be able to know what is the gap, identify it, and then know what to do to bridge it?
So it takes about, when I meet somebody brand new or we're interviewing for the team, it takes about 2 or 3 conversations to actually get to know the person. I deeply want to know them, like where they're from, what their family structure is like, fun stories about them. What was their previous career? So once we start to understand them a little bit, then we follow up with where do you want to be? Where do you want to go in life? And then let's link up what the business can provide in that arena for you. So 2 or 3 meetings, asking questions, just getting to know them and understanding their personality types. And then we can say, okay, here's the connector, because let's be honest. And maybe you'll admit this. I don't know if you will. I will. The business can be an absolute grind. And right, you know what I'm talking about, Tara? Like,
it's the hardest job I've ever done in my life, and I am not scared of hard work, and I can't imagine doing anything else either.
So let's talk about that for a second. So if it's a grind, a mental, maybe even a physical grind, nights, evenings, weekends, on call, you guys know the stuff I'm talking about. It's so hard to stay motivated constantly, because if you take your foot off the gas, what happens? It goes away. So what we like to do is keep that life component in the front seat with us. Okay, let's figure out where this business is going to take you so that we can have a full life. And that is the approach that we take. We take that approach because along my own personal journey in life, each time the business grew, I look back and I kind of started to document this stuff about 7 or 8 years ago. Each time the business grew, I grew as a person first. And that just was like a light bulb went off. And I was like, wait, if we could just grow people, the chances of their business growing is pretty high. So when we look at the individual, our main focus, we hired a wellness coach on our team, literally a happiness wellness coach that we just brought on board to the Jason Martin Group. That's our focus. We want you to be happy.
I think that that's super important. And I see that you have behind people, passion, power sign behind you, which I love. And I like the fact that you're being transparent about the fact that this is the toughest grind. Some people may say that it's really easy. And the ones that say that this is easy I don't know what they're smoking. It must be really good, because they're just not being honest and transparent about the fact that this is a daily grind. So my best way to put it is I wake up unemployed every single day. Every day I start
Yep.
back at zero. Nothing's ever a guarantee for what's like. And I've gotten pretty bad about not really celebrating a lot of the wins. I'm like, okay, that was great. Let's go next. Like, let's go. You just got to
Yep.
move on. But if you have the power or the tools to help kind of dig down deep and discover exactly what makes you excited in life, is what you're saying, or you find out what really is gonna make you healthy and wealthy and give you that happiness that will fuel that passion, that you could really be successful. So when you self-discover this, that obviously we start with
Yep.
life first,
Yep.
what would you say were some tools that helped you decide that, and maybe tools that you've seen, especially newer agents or agents that are maybe at that point listening right now that are burnt out? What is some tools that you find that are the most helpful?
So you have to really connect internally. So self-awareness is a huge component of this thing. So I can tell you get up, you go after it. I see how you motivate yourself. You're unemployed. I totally understand that's your mentality, right? I personally wouldn't do well with that mentality. I have a different mentality that's like, this business is the land of opportunity for so many different things in my life. And when you shift like that and go, this business is going to teach me accounting, this business is going to teach me people skills, negotiating skills, how to run a business. There's so many things and so many opportunities that this business provides. You just got to be open to receiving those benefits. So almost 20 years in, that's what motivates me, is like, this is the land of opportunity. There's so many skill sets that you get to learn by being a practicing professional. To the point, I so view it and I so believe in it. The book that's coming out, This Is Your Captain Speaking, we're releasing that on April 12th, is it's just about that. Like, I feel like in some way the business has led me to write a book. I have no business being an author, but it's the business gives me confidence and the ability just to put your head down and do something, and the consistency to write daily. I learned it from the business. And that's the type of things that I'm talking about, where we're linking the life in. Like, cool. Now I know I just wrote a book. What's next? And it's just a confidence factor. And a lot of it just comes from being in the business.
I like that. What would you say? Is there any possible tools that have helped you with confidence builders? And that can be anything. Like I have on my bathroom mirror, I have,
Yeah.
what's the one thing that I'm going to do today that if I, if that I would regret not doing today that would make my day successful? I
I
believe that's
love
what
the
it
way you
says.
look at it. I got two things. One, started journaling about 7 or 8 years ago. So as we talk about self-awareness, I need that reflection time to see where did I come from? How was I thinking a few years ago? Journaling alone, even if it's one entry a month, is absolutely amazing just to learn yourself better. So I'm just learning from my thoughts 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 3 years ago, and I'm getting better and better and better and building up. Like, oh, that's how I thought then. Oh, look, this is how I got out of that spot. So that's cool. That's number one thing. That's a top priority there. And then the second thing is in my shower, I have this board. It's called Shower Thoughts Co. And you can reach out, you can look at it. You can find it on Amazon, I believe, Shower Thoughts Co. And each day, each week rather, I have about 3 or 4 things that I absolutely have to get done that week. And I look at it every day, because I have a lot of, it's good thinking time. Being in a hot steam shower is when my brain is like this. And then I need 3 or 4 things to to look at and target. And by the way, if I put 5 on there, I might only get 2 done. If I put 3 on there, I get 3 done. So I can't overload that board. I have to keep it really simple. And what for me is fun, I'll have a hybrid approach of like 10 appointments per week on the work front. And then right below that, I'll make sure I exercise 5 times this week and don't eat sweets this week. So that might be my 3 things, but my personal wellness and well-being is right there in front of me as well. So that's how I think it through.
Oh, I like that. I do the same thing similar. And I hope that if somebody's able to, I like the thing of the shower, because that's actually pretty genius, because you think of a lot of stuff in the shower.
Yeah,
I keep a scoreboard, because if you think about it, would you go to a football game or a baseball game or any sports game if they didn't keep score?
no,
it'd be really boring. So what
Correct.
do we do to keep score in our life to where we can actually, let's say we have a to-do list of, 50 things that are on that list. And I love it. You said that you may not get to all of them, but what's my daily scoreboard for the day? And those are just three
Yep.
checkoffs that I could add one more person to my database and or receive a book an appointment. The second is, did I sweat today? And the third one is always starting my day with a gratitude call. And I just feel like as long as I accomplish those three things for the day, I can say that the day was a success and I can move on to the next day instead
Yeah,
of like
what I
that
like
to-do
about what
list.
you're saying is you are very you know yourself well. You know how to challenge yourself. And that's because you spent time thinking about it. Like I don't know you outside of this call, but I can hear it in your voice. You know exactly how to get your engine started and to get it running. And that's a key component.
I would love for the others that are listening is to maybe give them some direction, and let's talk a little bit about your book, because the things that you're saying that you use from journaling and going back to them and possibly reading them and looking at the lessons that you've learned, was that your inspiration to write this book and kind of capture all of it and put it together?
Yeah, one, I like to issue myself new challenges. So writing a book was a new challenge. Matter of fact, about 6 years ago, I sat down with a friend of mine who's an author just to ask her about the book because I love asking questions. And I was like, what was it like? And she's like, you lock yourself in a room and you write and you write. And it sounded like sheer torture. And I was like, that sounds awful. I have no interest in doing that. But because my mind, I'm open to new things and new challenges. Again, probably baked in from what I've learned in the business. A few years later, I was like, I think I want to try and write a book. And but I wanted to match with my core values. My number one priority for me, it's very, very clear, is my family. So the book, This Is Your Captain Speaking, and you can go to todayyouchoose.com if you guys want to connect with me, todayyouchoose.com. This book has nothing to do about business, not a single thing to do about business. Oh, but everything to do about business because my number one priority is my family. And this is a living legacy for my family. I got 3 kids, a dog, and a lovely wife. And I wrote this book for them. And baked in here are a bunch of life lessons. And the life lessons, I'll call them life lessons because life first is my thing. The life lessons can be applied to the business world as well. So everything that you're teaching yourself in your mind and you're learning, like document it, write it down, be the best version of yourself you can be, and a book might come out. I'm not telling you guys I set out to be an author. This thing just happened, and I don't even know how.
Well, it happened, and I love the name of it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that stood out to me was in the first chapter, which was, I believe it was called Dear Kids. Is that correct?
Yep. Yep.
And where you had said, life is about living in the moment, but the memories we have created will forever be a part of my life. And I love that because essentially you were writing to your kids and getting ready to share about these things that you've learned through life, correct?
Yeah, totally. And think about that for a second. I can remember the first time my daughter stood up, and that lasted for about 30 seconds. And like just like that, it's over. And I can remember different times with my kids, and I've captured them because I'm aware enough to capture them, then journal about them, uh, and just understand that life is short. And as we talked about the numbers earlier and the grind and all of those things, that actually doesn't get my juices flowing. What gets my juices flowing is spending time in the Florida Keys with my family. You're from Florida, like go spend quality time with my family, leave a legacy for my family. That gets my juices flowing. So how does that relate to business? I'm completely inspired in the professional world to keep doing more and better things because it provides such an opportunity for me to extract what I want to extract out of life. And that's what I mean. Does it mean I don't think about business or do I not know the numbers? Of course I do. But boy, it just isn't my focus. I'm clear about what my priority is. And I use this book for life and business. They go hand in hand in my world.
I love that. And I'm sure that based on reading a little bit of that book, which by the way is on Amazon for a pre-sale as of right
Yep.
now, is that if you really don't take care of yourself first, you're not really like your cup has to be at least full in order to pour into other cups. And we can have all the business and success in this world. And if we're not happy or appreciating the things that we have on a daily basis, then what you really work for?
You nailed it. I write about it in the book, and the thing is, you have to be selfish, and that sounds selfish, doesn't it? Like you have to be selfish. But let me explain a little more what that means. If I'm going to have the most energy possible, if I'm going to have the best results possible, how do I do that? I need to be the best version of me possible, and who reaps the benefits of that? It's those closest to me that reap those benefits. So while that might sound like a very selfish statement, be the best person you could be, or be selfish, think about the impact when you're the best version of yourself, when you're at the highest energy, when you're thinking clearly. Think about the impact that has on your family. Through that mentality, I've gotten clear enough to leave a legacy while I'll tell you guys my age, I'm 44. I'm not going to wait until I'm dead to share my legacy with my children. I want to capture the memories now. I want to share my lessons now. And I'll tell you a fun thing is I got the book. The book came in the mail the other night, and my children are 13, twins that are 13 and a 9-year-old, and they devoured it right away. I was like, oh man, you guys, you have no idea how this makes me feel. Like it is unbelievable, the joy that I got from going through the process of writing a book. And just it's amazing.
Well, that's pretty amazing. And
Yeah,
I love that you're narrowing down like the most powerful relationship you'll ever have is the relationship that you have with yourself. And if you put yourself at the top of your to do list every single day, the rest will fall into place. It's like jumping off the cliff and building your wings on the way down. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
don't worry about we worry too much about the business. We talk too much about the business, right? That's what this is about. If you are the best version of yourself possible, it's my humble opinion that the business will soon follow. I don't know about you. I'm not a grinder. I don't like being up at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. I'll get up pretty early in the morning, but by about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm kind of done. So I don't have that internal switch to burn it around the clock. I just don't. So I need to be able to utilize the energy that I have and the time that I have through just self-awareness, trying to figure this thing out. And I'm more effective in a shorter amount of time for a workday than a longer amount of time in a workday. And people are like, well, how's that possible? I've made it a priority because I know I can do more in 3 hours productively than I can 10 halfway. And I don't know that a lot of people kind of get that concept.
Oh, they just think, well, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm going, I'm going, I'm going, I'm grinding, I'm doing all these things over here. And are you saying that we could actually condense it more and be more purposeful and spending time
Totally,
in less baskets?
totally. Yeah, absolutely right.
I don't remember who said it. Someone had once said an empty lantern provides no light, and self care is the fuel that allows your light to shine brightly. So if you don't want
Yep.
to be the person that doesn't have any light to be able to bring, an empty lantern provides no light.
Yeah. And
So you
listen,
have
as
to fool
agents, it's
yourself.
easy to get sucked into that vortex, right? It's so easy to get sucked into that vortex of working 7 days a week and nights and weekends, and you're on call. Part of the job requires that. But if you're synced up where your life is going and what you want your life to look like, I'm here to tell you, you can move in a direction that your life doesn't have to look like that. Um, it's a choice. It's a choice. And if your life doesn't have to look like that, who are you spending more quality time with? Your family, those that matter. And you don't have to sacrifice. What I'm talking about is not sacrificing the business. In fact, I'm talking about growing the business. I don't know if you guys are feeling that or getting that. I'm talking about growing the business just in a completely different approach.
And I think that approach, people, like you said, they don't talk about it enough. They talk too much about the business.
Yeah.
And in the first chapter too, when I read it, you had said, through the adversities that you've gone through in your life, you've made a choice, because it is a choice to come out a stronger man. You made that choice, and you use those low points in your life as opportunities. And you just kind of reminded, like, you're going to fail many times in your life, but you truly only fail if you don't get back up. Can you touch on that? Why do you think
Yeah.
that's important? And when you are at that really low point in your life or in your career, and you just feel like either you burnt yourself out or you just at that low point for whatever that reason is, can you get that positivity to look at this as, this is actually an opportunity for me to come out stronger, and it's a choice that I have to turn this around?
I was on a Zoom call with the New York Times bestselling author the other day, and he said something that really stuck with me, and that was, the obstacle is the way. And I'll say that again: the obstacle is the way. And what does that mean? What has your downtime, or not your downtime, but when you're down on the bottom and you're feeling terrible, like what is that supposed to teach you about yourself? Like, you're supposed to learn something, and adversity is only an opportunity. And I know it from experience. I had some things I wanted to change in my life, and I had some spots where I was like, this isn't who I want to be or where I want to be. And let's just see if we can make some adjustments and some changes here. And I think everyone in life goes through adversity. And I also think it's the easier way out of it is to just kind of take the ostrich approach and stick your head in the sand and try and ignore everything. The harder way out is to look at yourself in the mirror. And this is what we're talking about with agents on our team, and say, where do you really want to be? Who do you want to be? Like, what is it that you seek? And if you're willing to have real conversations with yourself, adversity is just an opportunity. And by the way, I'm going to face adversity many more times in my life, and I'm going to fail many, many more times in my life. I had fear throughout the writing process. What if no one reads it? What if no one likes it? What I'm getting better at, and I don't have all this stuff figured out, by the way, in case you can't tell, what I'm getting better at is understanding what fear looks like and how to move past it, and syncing up with, I don't ever want to stop trying to grow as a person. I never want to stop growing as a person. And I want to be the best father and husband and business leader I can be. And that constantly requires personal growth. And when you take that journey, you might end up with a book. I get a little emotional about it, because, like, I'm telling you, I failed copy editing in college, right? I'm not the dude that's supposed to write a book. But through that mindset of just keep going, and adversity is an opportunity, the obstacle is a way, personal development, and just trying to be the best I can be, leads you to places. The world opens up when you allow your mind to go down that path. The world opens up.
I completely agree. And I love when you said, about growing. I mean, if you're not growing, well, then you're kind of just stuck and you're complacent. And I love when Diana Kokoska had said that complacency is the same as dying inwardly. So is that something that you choose to do and just kind of never take any chances? And I also noticed that you mentioned, and I love the website I just pulled up, todayyouchoose.com, which has the more information about your book as well, and more about you. But you started off with, what if success is measured by how many people you positively impact in your life? You choose to be the difference.
Yeah,
What made that?
that's cool. And I did put that on there, and I will admit that I need to get on his podcast, in case you know him, Hal Elrod. He mentioned that on one of his podcasts, and it stuck right with me. And I'm like, that's it. Like, that is coined very, very, very well. So if anybody knows him listening, Hal, I want to get on the show.
Hal, we love you. Hal's changed my life a few times. So he's
Cool.
amazing.
So maybe you connect me with that. But yeah, that's there. I mean, it just sticks with you.
I love that. What would you say and I know you probably shouldn't say this because it's going to be biased, but it's okay. What was your favorite chapter to write in the book about the lessons and journeys that you've learned throughout life so far, and why?
My wife asked me this the other day because I asked all of my family what was their favorite chapter. And ironically, like each child has a chapter devoted to them. And my wife has a chapter devoted to her and Scooby the dog. And what was unique about it was none of them picked the chapter about themselves, which was fun. I thought their favorite chapters would be about them, and it was about different things. My wife picked a chapter on George Bush, who wrote a letter to young people about how to live your life, or some good advice for young people. I think I like this is hard. I like the beginning of the book where Dear Kids is there, because I think I like them all. That's why I wrote them. But the Dear Kids is just me coming from the heart, just saying, hey guys, I'm going to leave this earth one day, as we all do. And when I leave, this is what I want you guys to know. This is who I am. This is my core values. So when I kind of pour that out there, that's it. Like, that's raw. That's just me being raw with this book. And it's been fun.
And transparent. I love it.
Yeah.
And let's talk about one of your favorite daily rituals. I just tagged Hal too, because I told him we were already talking about him. But what is your favorite daily ritual?
Oh, my favorite daily ritual at the moment. I start my days, Hal will appreciate it. Usually getting up between 5:30 and 6:30. And I go downstairs into my basement and I sit on the couch and I read. I consume a ton of books, and I didn't always do that either, but I'm probably reading, I don't know, 2 to 3 books a month right now. And some of you guys are like, that's not many, but it's, so I read for probably 45 minutes a day. And that's so relaxing, and it fills my mind, it fills my soul. And I don't want to make it all about Hal, but like, he doesn't even know me yet, but the books he recommends they're just stacked up on my desk, and I just follow his path.
I love that. What are you reading currently right now?
Win the Day by Mark Batterson. New York Times bestselling author Mark Batterson is on there. Untethered Soul.
Oh,
I believe
so
that one by
good.
Michael Singer. Yeah, you're reading that one right now? You already did?
I've already read it a few times. Actually, someone just sent me the manual for the journal manual.
Okay.
Did you know they had one? I didn't even know.
Well, so I'm slowly reading. I'm trying to.
You have to one chapter at a time. The slowest read ever, because I read one paragraph and I'm like, that was so deep. I need to read that 15 more times.
Yep. And I just finished Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. So yeah, I have a stack, and most of them are I don't know, they're good. I love it. I'm trying to think of some of the others that I really, really enjoyed recently. They'll come to me.
Yeah, Untethered Soul is one of those that actually Adam Hergenrother did a talk with Hal Elrod that I flew to Cleveland for. And Adam had mentioned Untethered Soul, and he says he pulls it out every 180 days. Wow. Every 180 days, he pulls out Untethered Soul. And I can understand why, because you can just open up a chapter and be like, whoa, that just changed my life. Someone just mentioned in the chat, The Alchemist and Untethered Soul were very helpful for them. I have not read The Alchemist. That is on my list. But that one's I always hear.
Yeah. Oh, it's, I have 3 to 5 sitting on my desk that I need to get to. I'm guilty of ordering more, but I'm way ahead of myself on the orders. And I'm like, slow down, man. I'm spending too much money on books each month, but it's just knowledge. And I think that was Clarence who mentioned that. So hi, Clarence, how you doing?
Yeah, it's knowledge is power, though.
It is.
Yeah. So one of the things that I like that you also mentioned for your favorite daily ritual was the Today You Choose is one of your favorite daily rituals. Can you dig down deeper a little bit on that?
Yeah. So yesterday was yesterday, tomorrow's tomorrow, but what is today for you? Literally, what is today? And we all have, each one of us has that opportunity every day to ask yourself that question. Today you choose what? What is it you choose? And that simple thing can change your trajectory just like that. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't need to be consistent. Consistency, as you know, is a key component to success. But man, what do you want to do today? Because yesterday was then. And whatever thoughts you're having about yourself or whatever happened yesterday, it's not going to define you today, is it? Unless you want it to.
That's a choice.
It's a choice. So today you choose is an action step to really think about What is it today? And you have enough todays built up, you have enough good days of things you wanted to choose, then you have a little winning streak going on. 2 or 3 todays you choose of good things, you got a winning streak. A week, you definitely got a winning streak. So think about how quickly we can change directions, whether it be in our lives or our business. And it all starts with one simple day. It starts at a starting line, and everybody starts at a starting line. And then when you start to go down that path, you see a finish line, and you know what the finish line looks like? I bet you do. What does the finish line look like for you?
Oh, it depends how what year we're talking for
I
finish
got you.
lines.
So the finish
I
line
got a
usually
whole
looks like,
lot.
the finish line usually looks like a new starting line. So
Oh,
when
I like that.
you're purposeful about what you're choosing to do today, and you're going to set out on goals, and you're going to get on enough streaks to get there, you're going to get to that finish line. And what you're going to realize is, oh man, now it's a new starting line. And it's just a habit of choosing to get the most out of your day. And that's why I like Today You Choose, because it's your choice. It's your choice for most people. That's not fair for everyone, right? So some people are listening, like, listen, there's a ton of mental illness out there, and there's things for people that is not their choice. So I don't want to discredit that, but for a large portion of the population, it's a choice, and how you view the day matters.
I love that so much. And the one question I have, because I know I'm not the only one who's gone through this, or I know you have as well. Those days that you wake up and you're like, I know today's a choice, but I'm still angry about yesterday, or I'm still waking up and I'm not happy about the day and it hasn't even started yet. Is there anything that you do to kind of stay in a positive mindset? Be it a gratitude list or making gratitude call, or is there anything that you do?
So you're reading similar books as I am, so you'll know some of this answer. The awareness around the thought, like you don't have to be that thought. You don't have to hold on to that thought. If you choose to hold on to that thought, you can. Is there any benefit to holding on to that thought? So when those things creep in, you have that thought of negativity for whatever reason, and that creeps in, just ask yourself, and I read it in a book, and I'm drawing a blank on the book I read it in, so I'm not trying to discredit the book, but it is when you have that thought, what is the benefit to holding on to that thought?
It reminds me of when we're in, and I know you said you were with Keller Williams before, previously to your brokerage, and when they say, the thoughts become your first thought you can control. I mean, you can't control. The second
Yeah.
thought you can control. And they said to me a few times, and I was like, I can't control my thoughts. Yeah, I can't control the first one, but I can always control the second one.
Yeah.
So I think
What you do with
that's
it.
powerful. I like
Totally,
that.
what you do with it, for sure. And it's all of everything we're talking about is just a choice. Today you're choosing, and the mindset is a choice. And if you're not thinking the way you want to think, then choose not to think that way. Like, for real. And yesterday was yesterday, so you thought that way yesterday. Today's a new one, but it does take practice. Like, don't be fooled. You're not gonna. I don't think. Well, maybe somebody will listen to this and automatically, like, a 365-degree turnaround and be like, that was it. That was a one conversation. It's going to take the consistency with the choice as well.
Well, you just nailed it. Consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency is
Required.
going to be the key.
Required. And by the way, what does the real estate business teach you? If you're going to succeed at a high level, it teaches you consistency. What can you do with consistency? And this is how we link them up. With consistency, you could write a book because it requires daily consistency. You could run a marathon. So allow the business to teach you, and then allow the business to elevate you.
Ooh, I like that one too. I know that a lot of the times it's said, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. And so I think that we tend to forget that. I know I'm guilty of that, sometimes
Ugh.
just not being consistent. And that was actually my word for 2021, was the word consistency, because I just need to be, and being self-aware that I need to be doing more of the things that work at a high level, and I'm just not consistent with them. Therefore, it's never grown.
That's a
Uh,
word and I don't know how you feel about the word, but for a long time, the word haunted me.
ooh,
The idea of consistency just haunted me. But then when you try and make it your friend, and you deeply try and make it your friend, it provides results that you can't argue with. And you go, if I want more of this in life, consistency is required. So if I want more of something in life, consistency is required. If I want to stress less, consistency is required. So consistency is the answer. Although I fought it for a long time, I don't fight it anymore. I'm not always great at it, but when I fall off the consistency horse, I get back on it. And it's consistency is a game changer. Like, you want to learn to play the piano? What's it take? It takes effort. It takes consistency. Before you know it, you'll be playing your first song and you'll be like, ooh, I like the result. And then you'll play your second song a little faster. That's consistency, and that's everywhere in life.
I love that. And you also have said to never remove the word hope from your vocabulary or mind.
Oh,
Why is that?
Thank you, man. You did dive into this. I'm so excited. You're making my day. I love the word. I absolutely love the word. Hope inspires me. I hope that everyone never, and that's the message I want to convey to anybody, and it's in the book. Don't ever lose track of that, because like, if you want an instant shot of energy, I saw the way you just smiled when you said the word hope. Like, if you describe something you hope about, can we do something fun? Sure. Tell me something you're hoping for in your life.
I am hoping. I have a lot of hopes.
Okay.
Are we going personal or are we going professional?
Keep the professional to the side. This we talk too much about.
Okay. What are you hoping for? I am hoping for a very amazing man that I could build a partnership with and a family.
Okay, cool. Well, you're reading the book, so that type of stuff, the family and stuff, is contagious when you read this thing. So all of that will happen. But that excites you. Describe the feeling you just had when you said that.
It just makes me feel good. Like, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm embracing any opportunities. I'm just excited to be able to share life with somebody, to be honest.
So it gave you, is it fair to say, it gave you a little jolt of energy?
Yeah.
Like optimism, things to look forward to.
Definitely.
I don't want people to ever lose that. I hope I never stop hoping for things. My wife tells me I have too many hobbies, and I tell her I don't have enough. Like, I want to be excited about things and hope for a better world and hope to be a better man. Hope gets me up in the morning. Like, it does. So that's why I say to people, don't stop dreaming. Like, don't ever do that. Like, people that aren't excited or don't have anything to hope for, I deeply, my heart hurts for them, because if I didn't have anything to be excited about or to hope for, what I'd be very confused.
And I know that there is some people that maybe do not feel like they do have any hope. And if that is you and you're listening, please reach out to one of us, or reach out to somebody that's a cheerleader in your life. Or if you're looking for a cheerleader, let's help you find one, or help you, or be that person for you.
Yeah. And you guys can connect on Today You Choose. You feel free to put your information there, Today You Choose, and you can connect with me. And these are all topics that we'll be talking about, much more.
I'm super excited to dive a little bit more through this. I only made it to chapter 1. And when is this book being released? So you can pre-order it now. Do you have an idea, or like a time frame when it will be actually released?
Yeah, April 12th is the actual release date. So, but you're welcome to pre-order now if you want. But April 12th, which I think is a week from today, coming up soon. So if you connect with me on the webpage, I'll fill you in with plenty of stuff. And if you connect with me today, I'll send you a few chapters and we can have some fun.
I love that. I also just included the link Today You Choose in regards to where you can learn more about him, his information, to reach out to him. He also serves the DC area. I personally serve the Fort Lauderdale area. So if you ever want a flamingo, I'm looking forward to digging down a little bit deeper into that book, and then I'll give you my thoughts. But so far, I really like it. You speak my language, and we need to be talking less about business and more about life, right?
We do. But don't misinterpret it. Business will follow when you do that.
Yes, it sure will.
Yep, it
Is
will.
there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you that you wish I asked you before we part ways today?
I'll give you a fun fact. Most people that get into real estate come from different careers, right? So I'll just give you a fun fact. I used to be a sports anchor and got to interview the likes of Hank Aaron and Arnold Palmer, and some of which I talk about in the book as well. And had a couple of interactions with Tiger Woods as well over the years. So I met some very, very interesting people in my life, some presidential candidates, governors,
Oh,
senators, and I've definitely come across some interesting people, and I've learned a ton from them. So yeah, that's just a little fun history. Covered the Masters in 2001. Man, I'm getting old.
you got the voice for it though.
Yeah, it was a childhood dream, and to be a sports anchor. So I chased that dream, and we cover that in the book as well. What dream chasing looks like, and the benefits of chasing your dream.
That's super exciting. And I hope that everyone's listening that you choose to chase your dreams and you go to todayouchoose.com and so that you can pre-order the book, learn more about Jason. Feel free to reach out to him. And thank you so much for today. I really enjoyed this one.
Oh, me too. I look forward to getting to know you more. I'm excited for your trajectory, and you come with a lot of energy, and I'm grateful for you asking me a few questions here. And today you choose to spend time with me, and I'm grateful for that.
Well, I am grateful too. And did you know gratitude is the highest form of energy that exists?
I believe it. We start every Monday with our team meetings with gratitude first.
I love it. Well, we will be talking soon. And thank you guys so much for joining us. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.